everyone, welcome back to the B-Movie Bunker. Today we're looking at one of my favorites from the 80s, 1986's House, brought to us by Steve Miner. Same guy who brought us Friday the 13th 2 and 3. This one's not going to be quite along those lines. This is not a slasher type flick with, Jason running around killing people. This is kind of a haunted house type story. What we have is the story of Roger Cobb, played by William Katt, greatest American hero, goes back to his aunt's house where things have happened in the past. His son disappeared, which caused the breakup of his marriage. His aunt apparently committed suicide in the house. And then weird things start to happen. I like this movie a lot. It's got a good campiness to it while still trying to be a little bit of a horror. The tagline, with the poster, the whole ding dong, you're dead, doesn't quite fit, I think, with the overall theme. It will mislead people who don't know what the movie's about to think of a more classic, scarefest, horror and gore and type stuff. It's not that. I think it's a good balance because at times you don't know what is actually the house and what is, the own personal demons that Cobb himself is dealing with. It's a mix of the two, so it's not just a horror story or a ghost story. It's also kind of that psychological thing where he's got his own issues. Being a Vietnam vet, there are things he never came to terms with. And playing one of those personal demons is Richard Mall, Bull from Night Court, plays, someone he knew in Vietnam. I also liked George Wendt as the kind of nosy neighbor. I don't think they utilized Wendt as much as they could have, but still, I like this movie. It's good, campy fun, and it's just that it's a great sign of a symbol of the 80s kind of comedy horror type stuff that came out back then, and I really like that stuff a lot. Scale of 1 to 10, this is it's kind of like buying a new house or moving into a new place because there's things you discover as you move along, and not all of them will be great things to discover, but there's always something new you can discover. And I find that when I watch this movie, there's always those little bits I miss where it's some little thing, some little trigger where I go, that right there, I didn't notice that before. And I like that with a movie where it's got little things tucked in here and there, little Easter eggs for you to find and uncover. So why I like this movie a lot. There's a lot going on for what really is a pretty simple, what seems like a pretty simple story. Ending, I'm not going to go into the ending. The ending is probably the part I didn't like about this movie, but I can see why they went the way they did. I don't want to spoil it, even though that in and of itself, just saying that I didn't like something is technically a spoiler, because now you're going to try to figure out what it is that I threw off, or that threw me off. So that's all I got for this one. This is a classic from the 80s. I would say check it out. Until next time, stay safe out there in the wasteland, folks.